This month is National Stroke Awareness Month. Here at Pacific Companies, it's near and dear to our hearts as one of our colleagues recently suffered a stroke. Here's his story.
Hi, my name is Matthew Forrest, and as was previously mentioned, this month is National Stroke Awareness Month. I'm 30 years old. I actually had a stroke February 10th of this year. I was at home with my parents, and I all of a sudden had arm weakness, and I ended up having a seizure. The paramedic staff didn't think anything of it because they thought I was so young. They ended up taking me to the ER at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, where I had discovered that I had a blood clot in the sinuses of my brain, and those are the veins that basically drain your brain of blood. I went through an emergency angiogram with intervention, so they pulled this clot out with a catheter, and it was a humbling experience for me because for about 2 weeks I couldn't talk. I had aphasia and I couldn't move my right arm. So after that 2 weeks had passed, I was able to make a slow recovery, and thankfully now I'm back to work. I'm truly thankful to all the nurses, the neurologists that worked with me, my neurosurgeon at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. But because this is National Stroke Awareness Month, I thought that it would be good to emphasize the fact that this can happen to people of any ages. Usually it happens to people over the age of 60, but strokes can happen to people of any ages. And it's important to realize the symptoms. And the symptoms of stroke are basically well defined in an easy acronym called FAST, F-A-S-T. So the first one is F, which stands for facial drooping. So that's one of the clear telltale signs that you might be having a stroke. A stands for arm weakness. S stands for speech impairments. A lot of people aren't able to speak. A lot of people have slurred speech. A lot of people aren't able to understand the speech of others when they're having a stroke. And T, the last one, is by far the most life-saving one. It's for time. And they say that time is brain. So the longer you wait to go get checked out, the least likely you are to recover fully from your stroke. So it's important to remember those signs. If you or anyone you know may think that they are having a stroke, call the ambulance and get to a hospital immediately. Stroke is the #1 leading cause of disability in the United States right now, and it's the #3 leading cause of death. So there are lifestyle factors that contribute to an increased risk of stroke. High blood pressure is one of them. Diet, the amount you exercise, heart arrhythmias, things of that nature, a lot of which can be prevented, obviously. But there are some things, like in my case, that can't be prevented. While in the hospital, I found out that I have factor V Leiden, which basically makes my blood more susceptible to clotting. So this is what I had, and from now until probably the rest of my life, I have to be on blood thinners. But that's a small price to pay for sitting here in front of everyone today. So I think it's important for people to realize those signs and symptoms of stroke, and if you have them or anyone you know may have them, get them or yourself to a hospital immediately so you can make your recovery, which was miraculous, especially in my case because I'm here after 3 months and I'm back to work. So, in bringing more awareness to this cause, and realizing that 80% of strokes are preventable, we can make a difference and help end strokes in the United States and worldwide. So thank you.